Welcome back to another episode of Cowboy Cooking with B. Mac and Gary. But today, Gary's behind the camera. It's B. Mac and Uncle Jimmy. And before we get started, we got a shout out to Uncle Jimmy's favorite fan, Lori. So Lori, this is for you. All right, what we're going to do today is we're going to make regular old, everybody's been doing it forever. They call it pan de Campo, but we call this in pan de Jose. And Jimmy, why do we call it pan de Jose?
Well, you give it, whoever give you the recipe, you name it after the people that give it your recipe. And Jose Adams is the one that gave us this recipe, so we're gonna tuck off. And you start off with a little 2 cups of flour. And this is something that they made when they was cow hunting way back in the day. They
half cup of tablespoon, half a tablespoon of baking powder.
And then
3/4 cup buttermilk, or you can use milk. Now, Jimmy, you were trying to tell a story. Go ahead, Uncle Jimmy.
No, we're gonna put some lard in it.
This is 6 tablespoons of lard. You can use lard, or you can use shortening. And I guess, Dad, you can use bacon grease.
Yeah, I imagine back in the day it was bacon grease because there was no store to go get lard from.
Yeah. And in this recipe, what you want to do is you want to cut, if you can, cut the lard in here. You want to keep it kind of whole. It makes the bread a little more airy. So you want to use one of these instead of a spoon or your hands. And we have a Dutch oven, a bread Dutch oven preheating right now behind us. So while I'm sitting here doing this, and we may come back, but I'm going to tell you, always please subscribe to us, our channel, Cowboy Cooking with B. Mac and Gary. And maybe I have to change it to Cowboy Cooking with B. Mac and Uncle Jimmy. But right now it's Cowboy Cooking with B. Mac and Gary. But please subscribe and go to our Facebook page and show us your pictures. Show us what you got, and please tell us if you like it or dislike it. What do you think? Think it needs a little bit more milk?
Yeah, just
a tad more milk. So that was 3/4 cup. We're just going to add a little bit more. We want a little bit better consistency.
whatever he said, that's what we want.
A consistency? Do I owe you a nickel for that big word?
I think that's a dime word.
That's a dime word? Yeah, I guess it had more than 2 syllables in it.
You know, I read it quite a bit, and they said if you're on a guided trip or float trip, every so often you almost have to fix bread for somebody, and this is something that you can fix. That you don't have to carry a whole bunch of stuff with you to make it.
All right, we're going to throw this on a little breadboard. Always flour your board first. That may be a little too much, but we'll find out.
That looks about right.
Whoa. Better put some on my hands too, huh?
Kind of wad it up in the ball and flatten it out.
You can use your hands for this. I have a rolling pin. I haven't decided whether or not I want to use a rolling pin or not. But here we go. Put it in the ball. And guys, you guys that do this often may recognize basically we're almost just making a biscuit. But in this case, we're not cutting them into biscuits. No. Okay. Let's use the rolling pin. Heck, I got it out. Put some on the rolling pin. Hold that puppy out. You want it to be, what, about an inch, Dad?
Yeah, maybe a little less. The old boys are chasing cattle, gathering them. They was probably tired, and if they could get her down from an inch to 3/4 inch, they was probably happy with it.
We got to be careful. I have a 12-inch Dutch oven, so I got to make sure it'll fit in there. Okay. All right. All right. Well, there you go. I'm going to put this in a 12-inch preheated Dutch oven. It's sitting here behind us. You guys need to see that. The Dutch oven has been greased, so it is a greased Dutch oven. We're going to put that thing in, and we're going to set it down. We're going to put, a little bit on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And then more on top. But since this is a bread oven, we got to be careful. We're not going to put too much heat on the top. And then we'll put it in there, and we'll show you what it looks like when we come back.
Your first time, just play with it and see what you're doing.
Yeah. We'll be back. All right, cool. I think the pan de Campo is ready. Uncle Jimmy took a look at it. Let me get it out. Oh, guys, this took probably about 20 minutes to cook. No, I'm going to say it'll be a little longer. What do you think, Jimmy? 25?
Yeah, we didn't have too many coals under it.
Yeah. So we'll see what it looks like if I can get that lid off of there. There you go. Thank you, Jimmy. Let's show it to them. One. Oh, and look at the bottom. Look at there. Perfect pan de Jose.
That's right.
And we're going to put a little butter on top, and we're going to go to town on this later. So anyway, one thing I needed to add, I didn't add salt to it. I did add it later, but you can also add about a quarter teaspoon, a pinch of salt to this if you want to. I did not do that, but remember that. So we gave you the recipe, and if I try to remember, I'll put the recipe in the comments for you so you can read it. But there you go, one pan de Campo, DBA, pan de Jose. All right, Jimmy, what do you want to close us out with?
I hope everybody enjoys it.
All right. You guys keep the party going. We'll see you next time. Take care.